One celebrity is joining the new breed of content creators in the country. Actor-singer Matteo Guidicelli launched a podcast where he tackles different issues in every episode. He joins us now live to tell us more about Matt Runs. Hi, Matteo. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me this evening. I like I said, kanina, I watch you almost every night. So Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matteo. I was just taking a look at your YouTube channel. You have more than 220,000 subscribers. Why do you still need to do a podcast?
Wala, beginner lang tayo sa YouTube, Sir Rico. Beginner lang tayo. I really like the podcast because it's a free form of conversation. That's why we entitled our show Matt Runs, because conversations run with Matt, kumbaga, no? So it's just we have different guests every week. We release content twice a week, every Tuesdays and every Fridays. And every guest, we have a different topic. And not necessarily everybody's from show business, no? All from different walks of life, different industries, and just different backgrounds.
That's right, Matt, no? I've listened to some of your episodes and the topics tackled like friendship, mental health, married life, military service, parenting, news reporting. Basically, you've covered a lot of ground already in your first, 6 or 7 episodes. You know, just like myself, I've been in this business for 33 years. And I'm really excited, Matteo, about, the elections next year. And interview presidential and vice presidential candidates. Would you like to interview them yourselves to see what plans they have for our kababayans?
That would be great to do one day, no? We just have to organize that properly and to have a platform that's not biased, kumbaga. I mean, you can really talk honest conversations, have unguarded conversations on the show. So hopefully we can do that for next year.
I also want to pick your brains, no? I mean, it's like you're now a journalist yourself because you're asking all the questions. What would you like to ask them and find out from them and how they can help us and our children's future?
Oh, wow. Sir Rico, you're putting me on the spot right now, but there's a lot of questions to ask, and that's a very, very nice question, no? But there's so much to ask, Sir Rico, from education to what their foresight is for our country, how to rebuild the country, how especially in the pandemic.
Right.
There's so many things to talk about. It depends on which individuals in front of us, no? But it would be a very nice conversation, especially when the elections are coming up, so we can really see and have a honest and casual conversation with whoever that person might be.
That's true, no? I mean, there are quite a number of presidential and vice presidential bets who are looking to run the country from 2022 to 2028. And personally, Matteo, how important right now is a podcast or other social media platforms to get our message across to our kababayans and, people listening to us around the world?
I think the podcast is very, very important. For me, Sir Rico, I listen to the podcast when I'm just walking around the house, just doing normal chores. It's in the background playing. To be honest with you, in the shower, I'm listening to a podcast, what I'm saying? It's just, words that are just going in the background. So it's very interesting because it's a nonstop conversation. You really get honest feedback, honest conversations without cuts. It's not like a TV show where you have a script, you have 10 minutes, you have breaks and all these things, and you have to re-edit and all this. A podcast is a free-flowing conversation, which, sometimes you can catch people off guard sometimes and really get that honest answer out of them sometimes.
Yeah, I like that. Catching people and your guests off guard, because at least they can really be honest, with their feelings and share their real thoughts about particular issues.
Yes, there's so much to talk about, especially in these trying times of today. There's so many topics, especially with the youth. Everybody has something to say. And instead of just sometimes a lot of people out there, just typing up on Twitter or anything, why don't you just sit down and converse about it, talk about it, debate about it, and just come up with something positive about it, kumbaga.
Just having a conversation with you right now, Matteo, it seems like you may have a new career. In having a talk show rather than just being an actor and a singer.
I've always liked having conversations with people, and I hope I can guest you on the podcast one of these days, Rico. Can we do that?
Oh,
We can talk
definitely.
about your 30 years in the industry and all these exciting things. Can we do that? Can we schedule a date?
Oh, of course, of course. Thank you so much for the invitation. I mean, I've experienced almost everything from local TV to international television, and now back again in local television. And you know what?
Yeah.
One of the major issues right now, Mateo, is vaccine hesitancy. I mean, we all have to get ourselves inoculated, immunized to protect ourselves from this COVID-19 pandemic. You just don't have the alpha, the beta, the gamma, but now you have the delta plus, and now you have also the lambda. You and your wife, Sarah, have been vaccinated. You think you both getting immunized will help encourage other Pinoys to get protected from COVID-19?
If you look at other countries, everybody's a few steps ahead of us, no? Sarah and I, we just got vaccinated because they opened the A4 category, if I'm not mistaken, no? So we were able to get that. We're waiting for our second dose very soon, I think next month. But the parents and everybody they got vaccinated. I've had a couple of friends that have been asking, Mateo, is it safe to get vaccinated? Are we going to turn into zombies, or is the world going to turn around? So we go, you know what? We all have to go into this as one and be united. And really, it's not just for ourselves, Rico. I'm sure you know this, obviously,
Yes.
but it's for our loved ones, no? It's for the people we go home to. It's for our grandparents, for just the people around us. So we can at least, start going out and living that back to quote unquote normal life, no? But obviously with still the proper protocols, the mask and all these things. So I think celebrities have been posting of their vaccinations, and I hope this will really encourage our kababayans to also get the vaccine, and it's safe to get vaccinated, kumbaga.
Absolutely. And we really are very proud of you, Mateo, and I'm looking forward to watching your future podcasts on Matt Runs. Thank you so much for joining us on The
Thank you
Final
very
Word.
much. You're my guest next time, Rico.
Okay, thank you so much, Mateo Guidicelli.